Let's get to number 10 on the list to perhaps land LeBron James. And we will go out to LA. No, not the Lakers, Harris. The Clippers. So, Mark Stein back in January said the Clippers may be a part of the LeBron sweepstakes, but he said the team had to move DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams to make that happen. Obviously, that did not happen. In fact, Williams got a 3-year, $24 million deal.
So the only way that LeBron is going to go to the Clippers is if they blow up the entire roster like what the Rockets did to get Chris Paul in the first place. They would have to get rid of Patrick Beverley and Milos Teodosic. They would have to pray that DeAndre Jordan declined his player option. They would probably have to trade one of Danilo Gallinari or Tobias Harris. So they would have to explode the roster in order for LeBron to go to the Clippers. And also, no offense, Clippers fans, but if you're LeBron James and you're going to move to Los Angeles, why would you choose the Clippers over the Lakers?
It doesn't make any sense.
Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you subject yourself to going to the Clippers and have everyone asking for the rest of your career, why didn't you choose the Los Angeles Lakers? Because, again, let's be honest with ourselves, the Lakers are the better franchise for LeBron James in terms of his overall just legacy and pizzazz of being LeBron James. Going to the Clippers would be one of the weirdest things we've ever seen in NBA
history. Well, the Clippers are a little brother to the Lakers.
Oh, they've always been the little brother. They'll be the little brother forever. Even when, they had an opportunity there, for a couple of years to pass the Lakers for Los Angeles sports with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. And even when those three were there, they still were the second most popular team in the city, which is wild. So LeBron going to the Clippers, as you can see with our lineup, they would need a new point guard. They would need a new center. Obviously, it's fine because they have the number 12 and 13 pick in the draft. Maybe they take.
By the way, DeAndre Jordan will not be there if LeBron
No.
Let's
that's a very good point. If they get LeBron James, DeAndre Jordan will have to decline his player option or they will have to trade him. They cannot have both of them on the books. They're giving way too much money to Danilo Gallinari, Lou Williams, and the rest of that bench. It wouldn't work.
I also think probably Austin Rivers would have to opt out as well.
Oh, darn. No more Austin Rivers.
So I'm just saying.
Oh, no. Oh, Cam, why would you do that?
A lot has to happen. A lot of factors here for the Clippers. Mark Spears of The Undefeated noted the Clippers actually really don't expect to land LeBron James. And if you're honest with yourselves as the Clippers leadership, you understand you're not getting James.
I remember when they first traded away Blake Griffin, I was in an Uber with Tom Downey, and I looked at him and I said, did the Clippers just put themselves in LeBron James sweepstakes? And we both just kind of looked at each other and laughed. Because LeBron going to the Clippers is just, again, I like the Clippers. I like what they're trying to build, but if you're going to go to Los Angeles and you're LeBron James, you have two houses there, you want to get more involved in the entertainment industry, you want to be the next great Los Angeles athlete, what are you doing going to the Clippers?
Right.
I just don't see it happening. I think LeBron, if he's going to LA, he's going to go to the Lakers.
All right, so the Clippers are there at number 10. Let's take a look at number 9 here in our rankings. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, Giannis said back in February that he would want LeBron.
Giannis and LeBron on the court at the same time is something only Ronnie 2K can ever dream of happening. That would be the most unbelievable, historical NBA combo that you could ever ask for. Can you imagine LeBron James and Giannis playing a full 82-game season together and in the playoffs as well? That would be just absolutely wild. Now, I personally think from a basketball sense, it's a little too much length on the court. You have John Henson. They'll probably have to trade away Chris Middleton, but you have Giannis plus Brogdon. You'd reunite LeBron with his best buddy Eric Bledsoe. So there's a little bit of standing here. Like, there's some connections between LeBron and the Bucks. We know that he likes Giannis. He's talked about it multiple times and the impact that he's bringing to the international basketball community. And we know that him and Eric Bledsoe are very, very close. They played together, or not in the NBA in the past, but we know that they're friends off the court. So I think that there's not a likely chance he goes to the Bucks. A lot of strings there, though, that I don't think we're going to see with a lot of other teams in the top 10. They aren't currently favored to get him, but I think the Bucks could be considered a dark horse for LeBron. I don't think LeBron James is going to move his brand to Milwaukee. No offense, Milwaukee, but it's LeBron James we're talking about.
Right.
The only reason he went to Cleveland or came from Cleveland is because he was born in Akron.
Exactly.
So I don't think he's going to move to Milwaukee.
No. All right, so the Bucks are there at number 9 on the list. All right, you got to do it. The Golden State Warriors check in at number 8. So some background here, Harris. On February 1st, Chris Haynes, who's pretty good in terms of the LeBron sources, said the Warriors could manage to open up a max roster slot. And then since then, numerous reports have said the contrary. Even LeBron called it nonsense.
LeBron James, more so than any NBA player, maybe in the history of basketball, cares about his legacy more than anyone else that I've ever seen come through the NBA. Why would a man who cares more about his legacy than anything else go to the one team that would completely ruin his legacy? It has almost ruined Kevin Durant's legacy in terms of an NBA all-time great. The only reason he hasn't is because he's won 2 Finals MVPs. But LeBron joining Steph Curry and Kevin Durant on that team would be the most ridiculous thing to have ever happened in basketball. Now, credit, the team would be absolutely unreal. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and I made them get rid of Draymond Green because I think they would have to get rid of one of them. But
they have to.
You could very easily put Draymond Green up there because we know that Joe Lacob has so much money and does not care at all about spending money on this basketball team. So I threw in Jordan Bell in there just to be nice to the rest of us NBA fans. But LeBron going to the Warriors at this point is so unbelievably unlikely that I don't really know why this is still being considered an option. Like, I get it. We want to get the people going. We're in NBA media. Stephen A. Smith likes to, make people mad and make headlines. So he's throwing out the Warriors as a possibility. But, let's all take a step back here. Mm-hmm. Let's all actually evaluate this from an intelligent standpoint and admit to ourselves, LeBron James will never join the Golden State Warriors. Over my dead body, will LeBron James join the Golden State Warriors? It's not going to happen.
Well, let's just talk financials. The Warriors would have to go from $129.8 million owed in player salaries to $65.7 million to actually make room for LeBron James on the Golden State Warriors. Harris, I don't know if they can keep Draymond and Klay. I mean, they might have to get rid of both of them.
They would have to at least get rid of one of them. The only reason I have them keeping Klay is because if you're Joe Lacob, you're going to try to keep Klay and pay LeBron James. But they also have to give Kevin Durant a max contract.
Sure.
And LeBron James a max contract. Klay Thompson is going to get a max contract. Someone has to go. Something has to give. There's not enough money to go around, and my head can't take this. LeBron James isn't going to the Warriors. It's not happening. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, it's just not going to go down.
Don't do this to me.
Like, not going to go down.
Not even is this can happen. I don't think anyone.
I don't think basketball wants it to happen.
Including Warriors fans. No one wants this to happen. I'm friends with a bunch of Warriors fans. They don't want LeBron. They get more joy out of beating LeBron than they would having LeBron join the team and then just win 6 finals in a row. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anyone wants it to happen, including LeBron.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, let's go to number 7 here on the list. This is an interesting team. The Boston Celtics, Harris. Going back to a recent report, Chris Haynes said, let's not overlook the Celtics. Stephen A. Smith said the Celtics may look into LeBron. This would be stunning just from the fact that you're going from being an enemy to a friend, in essence.
We could have our own top 10. We could have our own top 10 for the top 10 reasons it's ridiculous that LeBron James would go to the Celtics. They would dominate the East for the next decade until Bronny Jr. ends up joining the NBA so he can play with his dad. They still would have Kyrie. They still would have Tatum and Brown. They would still have Al Horford. To be totally honest, it is shockingly easy for the Celtics to end up with LeBron James. Shockingly easy for the Celtics to end up with the best player in the NBA on their team, still with Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum plus Al Horford. The likelihood of it is low, but the way that the Celtics can do it is frightening. Like, all they would have to do in reality is trade away one max contract, trade away some bench guys, and likely give the Cavs a first-round pick in a sign-and trade. That's it.
It's really not that hard to make it possible.
No, it's not.
Kyrie.
Yes, that is the outlier.
Let's just think about that.
Yes, the outlier is what will Kyrie be able to do? Would he be able to take LeBron James joining him on the Celtics after everything those two have gone through? But I want to bring up my trade here because, again, with this up there, no, I'm not saying the Celtics are trading for LeBron James. But this is the easiest way that the Celtics could get LeBron. They would trade Gordon Hayward, which is actually good for the Cavs. They'd get Gordon Hayward and Kevin Love to build around. They would trade Marcus Morris' expiring contract. They would have to trade a young player of either Semi Ojeleye or Gershon Yabusele. They would have to trade one of their contracts. And then they would have to give up one of their first-round picks just because the Cavs and a sign and trade are going to want a first-round pick back. I swear to you people, I'm not trying to lie. That is all the Celtics would have to give up to get LeBron James from a money standpoint. Now, the Cavs could ask for more first-round picks and whatever. That could still happen. But from a money standpoint, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Morris, Semi Ojeleye, and a first-round pick. That's all they would have to give up. Look at this lineup. That beats the Warriors. I'm sorry, that beats the Warriors. Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, all coached by Brad Stevens. That beats the Warriors. That wins you the East for the next decade, and that beats the Warriors in the NBA Finals. That's wild to me. And look, I'm a Celtics fan. I don't really want LeBron James. I've literally spent my entire life, growing up wanting to beat LeBron James. I don't even think I could say no to that team. Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. I think LeBron James is going to consider it. I think he's going to look at what he could do with that roster. I think he's going to call up Kyrie and be like, dude, your entire goal in the NBA is to win. Let's go win 3 titles in a row. And they would be able to. Even a 36-year-old LeBron James on that team would be great because at that point, Jaylen Brown is 24 years old. Jason Tatum is 23 years old. You still have the best roster in the NBA.
And they're controlling the team by that point.
It would be absolutely nuts. I think that LeBron going to the Celtics, the closer we get to the offseason, or the closer we get, to the moratorium period, the more likely this is going to end up seeing. I think the trade that they would have to do isn't completely out of the question. And God, that team would be good. That team would be so, so good.
All right, so let's go to number 6 here on the list. Could he go to the New York Knicks? And as Cantor would love to see him there, according to his Twitter. And LeBron did call himself the king of New York.
Didn't we do this already?
After that November game, yeah.
This is deja vu. Every single time LeBron's a free agent, he's going to the Knicks. He's going to the Knicks. Plus 750 from Vegas, LeBron going to the Knicks. The 3rd highest odds for any team that LeBron could go to. I thought we went through this already. LeBron doesn't want to join the Knicks. LeBron enjoys going into Madison Square Garden
and being the enemy in essence.
And beating the Knicks.
Yeah.
He loves beating the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. He loves playing there. He has some of his best games of all time in the Garden. But I think for him, it's more of a trip. It's a field trip for LeBron, saying, oh man, we're going to New York this week. I get to play in the Garden. That's awesome. I think he likes the aura that Madison Square Garden brings rather than him going to, there and playing 41 games. Mm-hmm. I don't think the allure for LeBron playing for the Knicks is there. And this lineup is okay. By the way, stop yelling at me about Tim Hardaway not being a small forward. He plays the 3. He plays in small ball lineups. He would play it if LeBron James joins the Knicks. Get off my butt. But LeBron going to the Knicks, I don't know how it's the 3rd highest odds of him going to any team. I think the Cavs, the Lakers, and the 76ers are all higher in terms of where LeBron could go than the New York Knicks, personally.
All right, so New York checks in at number 6 here. Let us know in the reaction poll. Should he sign with the Knicks? Give us a heart for do it. Give us a like for do not do it. All right, let's summarize the list so far. We're going through all of the teams here and where they fall in the potentiality of signing LeBron James. The long shots, 30 through 26. Grizzlies, Raptors, Magic, Suns, and Kings. 25 through 21, Nets, T-Wolves, Hawks, Hornets, and Mavericks. 20 through 16, the Nuggets, Pistons, Jazz, Wizards, and Pacers. 15 through 11 we go, Bulls, Pelicans, Blazers, Thunder, the Miami Heat. Inside the top 10, 10 through 6, Clippers, Bucks, Warriors, Celtics, and the New York Knicks. So let's do it. Top 5.
Let's
Checking
go.
in at number 5 on the list. The San Antonio Spurs. Now, Greg Popovich may reportedly meet with LeBron this summer to sell him on the merits of South Texas. So LeBron has actually talked about his love for Pop publicly before. And I'm just imagining that player-coach pairing, Harris, could be one of the best.
Oh, it'd be awesome. And we know that LeBron and Greg Popovich have a massive, mutual appreciation of one another. And also, if you're the Spurs, by the way, if they can have LeBron and Kawhi on the team at the same time, they would probably have to get rid of Kawhi. They would have to get rid of Tony Parker, but they would have to make some roster shuffling. But again, like with the Celtics, it is shockingly possible how the Spurs could end up with both Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James on the team at the same time. They're also a great combination of the two. I think in terms of basketball sense, the system that Pop plays is perfectly in line with the system that LeBron James enjoys playing, which is a lot of drive and kick, a lot of ball movement, and a lot of setting up people for open threes off of different pick and rolls. So LeBron plus Greg Popovich from a basketball standpoint would be some beautiful symmetry. As well with Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi and LeBron in terms of kind of how they counter each other on the basketball
He's the
court.
wild card, by the way.
He is the wild card, but if LeBron James is coming to the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard's coming.
You better
back.
believe they're texting, by the way.
Oh, well, we'll probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But with LeBron and Kawhi a little bit more of a mid-range jump shooter, whereas LeBron's a little bit more of a three-point shooter, obviously, and also driving to the basket a little more. I think Kawhi and LeBron, from a basketball standpoint, you can definitely have them on the court at the same time and still flourish. I mean, that would be a great combination of two players. Not to mention, if you're LeBron James, you know that Kawhi Leonard can stop you. You know this. You've seen this already in an NBA Finals. You've seen what Kawhi is able to do. If you can't beat them, join them.
Sure.
Join Kawhi. Like, Kawhi plus LeBron would be an amazing basketball combo, plus Greg Popovich.
LaMarcus Aldridge,
LaMarcus
too.
Aldridge would be a great combo as well with LeBron and Kawhi. His ability to score down low and to also jump out to the three-point line. I like this a lot. I think LeBron would have a good shot with the Spurs.
All right, with that, let's go to number 4 here on the list. We're getting into the big-time favorites now, Harris. The Houston Rockets. Chris Paul, James Harden, LeBron James, Warrior killers, I'm telling you.
This is probably LeBron's best chance of beating the Warriors next year. Not forever, next year. If LeBron is focused on a year-to-year basis in terms of where he wants to play basketball, then the Houston Rockets are the best opportunity for him next year. Chris Paul, James Harden, LeBron James. I don't think it's a 100% chance that LeBron would beat the Warriors if he joins the Rockets with Chris Paul and James Harden. But this team would give him the best chance overall. Now, the real question is, how the heck would the Rockets actually end up with LeBron James based off money?
A lot has to happen.
This is how. LeBron would have to opt into his player option. The Rockets would have to have a massive sign and trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They would have to trade Ryan Anderson in a separate deal and also pray that LeBron decides what team he wants to go to before June 29th, which, mind you, is when you have to make a decision on your player options, which is in 17 days. So they would need LeBron James in 2.5 weeks to decide where he wants to play basketball next year. It's not going to happen.
So what a trade that is.
This would be what what the Rockets would have to trade to the Cavs in a sign and trade for LeBron. Have to trade Eric Gordon, have to trade PJ Tucker and Nene. They'd have to get rid of Zhu Kui, plus a couple other players, and give up 2 first-round draft picks. And there's a possibility that the NBA wouldn't allow them to trade their 2019 pick because they're a little iffy about teams trading picks in back-to-back years if you don't have another pick on top of it. And also with that lineup, you can't have Clint Capella. You can't. He's gone. And the entire point of the Rockets defense was, we're going to defend you 30 feet away from the basket. You're going to have to get to the rim in terms of layups because you're not going to beat us with three-point shooting. And now you're going to have to put up layups around our 6'11 shot-blocking defensive center, Clint Capella.
Yep.
So you get LeBron, but it ruins your entire defense. Is this a good decision for Houston?
Trade-offs. You got to think about it.
I just wonder if Houston's better idea is to just do what they did this year. Have a good deep team, play defense, shoot threes. Bring back Trevor Ariza on a little bit of a lower contract. Maybe you also go after Paul George. I think it might actually be a better idea for the Rockets to not sign LeBron James than a question of whether or not LeBron should sign with the Rockets. I'm throwing up a like. I wouldn't do it if I'm the Rockets. Don't do it.
All right, so the Rockets are there at number 4. Let's go to number 3, the team he spent 11 years worth of his career with, the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, the 2016 NBA title to his credit.
Change is bad, Cam. Change is bad. Don't like change, and if you're LeBron James and you don't want to go through change again, just stay in Cleveland. Just stay in Cleveland. You might not win a title next year. You might never win a title again, but it'll be in Cleveland. And I think that we can't discount LeBron going back to the Cavs. I know their roster is bad. I know they still have Tyronn Lue. I know that, you know, the entire roster is so old and flooded with bad contracts, but LeBron's connection to Cleveland can't be overstated. And
Sure.
I want to point something out really quick, that we don't give these athletes enough credits for the stuff that they do off the court. LeBron is opening up a public school in Cleveland. He's financing it himself, a public school in Cleveland. His connection to that team is so deep, and his connection to that city is so deep that I think that we discount him going back to the Cavs a little bit too quickly. Now, with that being said, I do have a graphic coming up here that shows what the Supermax would be with LeBron James, because the Cavs can offer him the most money. They can offer him the Supermax. This would be a projected Supermax for LeBron James. Now, it's wild. It's a ton of money. And I need to preface this also, Cam. Add maybe about $2 million onto every single year. That's most likely what it'll end up being. This is projected with what they think the salary cap is going to be for the NBA.
It's a lot of money.
I think it's going to be a little bit higher because ratings have been so good this year. I also think that LeBron is going to get more money in a Supermax contract due to contractual rules, with his player option being higher than what a team can offer in terms of the max for this upcoming offseason. So you could add $1 mil, $2 mil on that Supermax. If you're LeBron James, turning down that much money to stay at home is something that I don't think he's just going to walk past. I think that he's going to do whatever makes his family most comfortable, and maybe that's staying in Cleveland.
All right, so the Cavs check in at number 3 here on the list. Let's take a look at number 2. It's a team that has been surfaced very often so far in free agency, and really the entire NBA season. The Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, LeBron not playing on the ball anymore, all the rumors. Obviously a team on the rise. Harris jumping from 28 wins to 52, from the cellar of the East to the conference's number 3 seed, set to be the team with the second most cap space this summer. It's tempting.
It is very tempting. And I think it was the 76ers made the right move getting rid of Colangelo, because I don't think that they can have, no matter what happened with all those burner accounts, whether it was his wife or him, blah, 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 you can't have that hanging over your head if you're going after LeBron James. Can't do it. So I think that the biggest issue for LeBron when he looks at the 76ers team isn't going to be, you know, whether or not it works from a money standpoint. It's, do I want to play basketball here? Because I think that his combination from a basketball sense, along with, you know, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid from a basketball standpoint, I'm not sure how it would work, because it would make LeBron James be an off-ball shooter. Now, I know we got the report that LeBron wants to play more off-ball next year. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I call total BS on that. LeBron James is, you know, for all of his weaknesses, strengths, whatever, the dude is an egomaniac on the court. He wants the ball. He wants to make the play. And no 21-year-old from Australia is going to keep the ball from LeBron James, no matter how good or bad he is coming off of a rookie season. I think LeBron, in terms of going to the 76ers, it makes sense from a money standpoint. It makes sense from an overall just, you know, idea standpoint of him staying in the East and dominating and winning titles. But LeBron going to the 76ers from a basketball standpoint, I think LeBron is going to take in consideration and not really end up with a good conclusion to it. I have them number 2 because they're without a question going to end up being one of the final three or four teams that LeBron ends up considering. He is going to look at the Philadelphia 76ers very seriously. I don't want to beat around the bush there. The 76ers are my number 2 team for LeBron James. But I think in perspective of other teams he could go to, I wonder from a basketball standpoint it makes sense. And with LeBron James, through family and all this stuff, location, the basketball matters the most. And if LeBron doesn't feel comfortable from a basketball standpoint with the 76ers team, he's not going to go. Straight up.
All right, so should LeBron James sign with the 76ers? Give us a heart for do it. Give us a like for do not do it. And with that, let's take a look at the number 1 team for the number 1 player in the NBA. We've got the Los Angeles Lakers. They have the room to sign James Harris to a 3-year, $111.4 million max contract if they want to, one with a player option on year 3. So the idea is to get Paul George and LeBron James. Now, To do that, you got to waive 3 players. Tyler Ennis,
Oh, no.
Zubats,
Oh, no.
Thomas Bryant.
Oh, don't say it.
Renounce the rights to Julius Randle.
No, not Julius Randle.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no, so terrible. Look, LeBron going to the Lakers, the reason I have them at number 1, and the reason why Vegas has them at number 1, I truly believe that LeBron's going to the Lakers. Throughout his entire saga, from 2014 to now, what is the one rumor we've heard for 4 years? LeBron wants to go to the Lakers. And we can't just ignore 4 years of rumors because in January, there was a report that said that he's going to consider the 76ers and Houston. Like, we can't ignore that. We can't ignore the LeBron to the Lakers rumors. And plus, they get Magic Johnson. There's rumors that Paul George is going to come along with them. They draft Lonzo Ball, who, mind you, is probably one of the best point guards in the NBA that you could ever give to LeBron James. He's dynamic on offense. He's a fantastic passer. He's a much better defender than people give him credit for. He's a good rebounder, and he's great in the fast break. And also, you give him the perfect 4. Kyle Kuzma can very, very easily do what Kevin Love does for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, no doubt.
Maybe not put up 20 and 10, but Kyle Kuzma with LeBron James can put up 15 and 8 a night.
He's the better
easily.
teammate than Kevin Love.
Oh, easily. I think that Kyle Kuzma, in terms of a fit next to LeBron James, might actually be a better fit than what Kevin Love brings to the table. He's a better shooter off the dribble. He's a better catch and shooter as well. I don't know if the defensive versatility is there for Kyle Kuzma yet, but I think from an offensive standpoint, Kyle Kuzma can give you 85 to 90% of what Kevin Love did with the Cavs. Then you bring in Paul George, who'd be the perfect sidekick to LeBron James. And maybe, just maybe, you bring in or you trade for a center like a Tyson Chandler. I'm not saying they're going to bring Andrew Bogut out of retirement, but they are going to try to get a veteran center there to try to counteract the inexperience in terms of an overall playoff roster with LeBron James. But LeBron going to Lakers makes too much sense to me. It's a blank slate. He can make the team what he wants it to. He can bring a second star there. The coach there is movable as well. Luke Walton, by no means, is a permanent fixture on that basketball team. I don't know what people's obsession is with Luke Walton. I'm not crazy about him. I don't think he's a fantastic head coach. But if LeBron wants a new head coach, they could easily replace Luke Walton. Easily. Without question.
So Josh Hart went to Twitter recently, kind of hinted at the idea that he might hit the campaign trail and try to recruit some players to the LA Lakers. So keep that in mind.
I like you, Josh Hart. I just don't know why that matters. No offense, Josh Hart. You're still a backup point guard who's only had 1 year in the NBA.
I'm just saying.
No offense, but which team is the best fit for LeBron? Reaction poll. Please get your reactions in, by the way. I think the team with the best fit is the Lakers. I think they're also the most likely fit. But I think if you're a LeBron and you're trying to look for a team that's enticing, that's like, what's shiny, the 76ers are shiny.
Yes.
They're the shiny new toy. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, great head coach in Brett Brown, new GM coming in, good, stable ownership. Maybe not GM in terms of front office, but everything else is stable. And I think that the 76ers are definitely a high-ranking option for LeBron. But I still think the Lakers are what he's looking for in terms of a team for next year.